Jai Hind everyone, welcome again to the Patriotic IAS. Let's start our daily news analysis that is based on the today's news and whatever the topic that are in the current affairs and that are relevant for the UPSC. So we have 11 topic that we are going to take. Let's see one by one what are the topic that we will do analysis. So we will start with a very landmark decision from the Supreme Court that it is immunity for the legislature taking bribe that is not considered under Article 105 or 194. Means this immunity that has been provided by this constitutional provision is not for the if you are taking the bribe. So this will be under the GS paper 2, and yes, this will be under the immunity of the legislature. So it will be for the mains perspective very important, but the article that is mentioned it will be helpful, and UPSC in the prelims can ask question on that as well. Okay. After that, we will study that Supreme Court to hear Udayanidhi petition to club FIR. So there was the case that there was the defamatory statement made by the Udayanidhi Stalin. He is the son of the Chief Minister of the Tamil Nadu. So you just here we will know that what is the jurisdiction of the whenever you there is the any crime, and if you have to file a FIR where you need to go, this will get clarity. So very important for the prelims. Okay. Then we will study the GIE tag that has been provided to the NASA put crosset list. Okay, so here we will see that how this craft was dying, but due to this GI tag, there is the chance that there will be the more productivity, more activity, more job creation in this area. So prelims, very important. Okay, then we will study this continuous this extension of the first article into here. Allow MPs and MLA to speak without the fear of harassment in house. So yes, this 105 article and 194, these provide the immunity. So this is applicable for this condition for the freedom of speech, and yes, the effective functioning of these both house. Okay, Rajya Sabha election must be given utmost protection. Okay, so here again same article, extension of the article. Then we will study that tired of the spam or the fraud calls, you can complain on this website that is provided by the government. So for the prelims, very important. Okay. Then we will study that Sandesh Khali, what is the thing that is going on Sandesh Khali in the West Bengal. It is in the news, so we will try to know that what is on the ground, what the thing that is going on the ground. So we will study, so it can be helpful in GS paper 1 where you can know the tradition, cultural impact, land reform, GS paper 3. Okay, so here this will be helpful in the lot of area for the your further points. So it will be for the mains. Then we will study the quick transformation of the Russia-North Korea ties. So it will be under GS paper 2, international relation. And after that, we will study that women should not tied to the name of their husband. So there is the very complicated notification from the government that yes, if you are divorced from the your husband, go and take permission that you can use your name without the previously taken surname from the your husband. So this is very unequal, and yes, this show that how the gender gap is and the mentality of patriarchal society is there. So GS paper 1 society section for the mains. Then we will study this India's nuclear program, very important. Already we have studied. Again we will try to a quick recap so that we will have the revision. So it will be for the prelims as well as for the mains. Very important. Then we will study a case of reform bill law. So there is a lot of things that despite the reform, despite the different judgment from the Supreme Court, still the bill is going given by the lower court with lot of conditions, and many people who are from the marginalized class, despite getting bail, they are not able to get out of the jail, and they remain in the jail. This is the condition. So let's start with the front page, the first news, very important news and a very landmark judgment from the Supreme Court with respect to the immunity and provision given to the our legislature. So first of all, we should know that What is the Article 106 and 194? Both are 106, 105. Sorry, 105. Article 105 is for the Parliament and 194 for the state legislature, the legislators from this area. So why immunity? Immunity means if you are speaking anything during the functioning of your Rajya Sabha or the Lok Sabha, or you are in a state legislature and you are speaking anything or you are voting for anything, you will be not punished. This is the immunity. Normally, if I will tell anything, so I will face different cases such as the defamation case and yes, hurting the religious sentiments case. Lot of things I can face. But if I am speaking into the parliament or into the state legislatures, there will be the immunity. Despite I can say anything, it is given because the legislators are considered to make the laws, and many a times you are making the laws, you are amending the law that are not that much close to the people. Many a times you have to take tough decision where the society thinks something else and you have to take some other decision. For example, the abolition of the sati system. For example, the introduction of the Hindu code bill. For example, recently we went with this law for the abolition, repealing of the triple talaq. So there are a lot of things where you have to take decision, you have to frame the laws, you have to say a hard thing to the people, the truth to the people, and many times people go for the defamation and the religious, they are hurting the sentiment of the religious feelings. So things are very common. So that's why we have given this type of law, this type of the immunity, so that these legislatures can think out of the box, they can speak the thing, they can speak the truth, they can bring a new thought process to the society. So this is the condition under that we have provided. So please remember Article 106 and 194. So Article 194, Article 105 and Article 194. 194. This is for the Parliament and this is for the state legislatures. Okay, so beside that, one more thing is that during the session, even these legislatures cannot be asked to be witness of any case. You have to take permission from the speaker of that particular house or the chairman of the Rajya Sabha if you have to make them any witness. So this is given immunity. Okay, so the thing is that the case come into the first case with respect to that come into the P.V. Narasimha Rao case, and the second come into the 1998 into the JMM, this Jharkhand Mukti Morcha case. There is two cases that come, and in that case the Supreme Court discussed that whether if any of this legislature had taken the bribe and voted for in the favor of some of the candidate. That comes under the immunity under 106. So Supreme Court said that as they are doing the functioning and voting of the legislature, we cannot interfere as there is the immunity. Okay, but this judgment, recent judgment, the name of this judgment is the Sita Soren versus Union of India case. So please remember this, Sita Soren versus Union of India case. And this is 2024. Yesterday we get the judgment. That was so. So this is the judgment. Okay, now under this judgment, Supreme Court said that what the hell is that? You are talking about, you are taking the bribe and you are talking about the immunity. So this is not acceptable. Until and unless it is for the freedom of speech, it is for the benefit of the society, you are speaking anything, then you will be provided with the immunity. But it is not ethically even that you are taking the bribe and voting for that. Where your standard, where your dedication for the society goes on. There is the ethical standard and you are taking the bribe and we cannot give the immunity. So in this judgment, Supreme Court says that whenever there is the case when you are taking the bribe, you will be punished. This is the all about, and this was the 7-member judge bench. Okay, and yes, clear cut, our Chief Justice of India Chandrachud wrote this judgment and said that yes, this is not acceptable, and now this protection for the bribe is null and void, and that's why the PV Narasimha case and Narasimha Rao case and JMM case both will be now not further valid. Okay, so you should know this is all about. I think you are clear with this. Article 106, 105, 194. Please remember that. Okay. Here a lot of statement that has given. One more thing you should remember is that in this judgment the Supreme Court came up with the two-fold test. Whenever the immunity comes into the question, the two-fold test will become. The first restriction is that if the action of the legislature were meant to enhance the dignity and authority of the House, then they will be protected under the immunity. And the second is that if they were in the exercise of their right to free speech, protest and freedom from the arrest among others. So this is the case. Whenever there will be the other thing, then only that case it will bring the immunity to these legislators. So please remember all these things. This is very important for the prelims as well as for the mains. Next relevant news is with respect to the Supreme Court to hear the Udayanidhi petition to club FIR. So the case is that behind that Udayanidhi commented on the Sanatan Dharma, and there was the lot of cases that was filed into the different states such as the Maharashtra, UP, Bihar. Okay, everywhere there was the case against that statement that this is the derogatory, this is the defamation. So the question, the challenge that goes to the Supreme Court with petition is that I have to go in the lot of different state and different district. So it is not it is like the persecution before the prosecution. Means you are giving me punishment by this process itself. And the rule is that whenever the crime is done in anywhere, the case should be registered into that jurisdiction, not the outside jurisdiction. So when he speak, that defamation case is related to his speech into the auditorium that is into the Chennai. This is the Kamraj Auditorium into the Chennai. So all the cases should be into the Chennai. So this is the thing. So Supreme Court has asked, let's see that there will be the again hearing on the 15th of the March. This is just you should know that whenever the crime is done in anywhere, the jurisdiction to file the case is into that district where the crime has been done. So this is all about. Next important news is with respect to the GI tag that is given to the Natsapur crochet lace. So this is given by the Department of Promotion and Industry and the Internal Trade, that is under the Ministry of Commerce and the Trade. Okay, so please remember this area. And this geographical indicators, this indication gives you the protection from if there is anyone who is copying such art and such type of the form, that will be penalized. So this is all about, and this will be given a proper indicator. So this gives a type of protection to that particular area with the quality characteristics, and that's why it is chance that in this area the many of the women that were involved in this production, they were out of the employment. Near about 15,000 women, they were working in this area. Now there is chances that will be revived, because due to the lockdown impact, mostly this demand for this lace was low, and yes, now there is chances that it will give chance to the export as well as the internal trade. Besides that, this was impacted by the Chinese machine made the lace. That was also other thing that impacted. Okay, so please know that one thing you can use, that whenever you are writing in the women's empowerment, such type of the craft you can mention too, that could boost the employment generation for the women. The second thing is that this is the labor intensive industry where the more employment could be generated. So please remember all this thing. This news is again the same thing with respect to the 105 and 194 where the immunity is given. So here it is given that yes, the immunity is very important whenever you are talking about the debate and discussion within the parliament, because apprehension is that if you will declare the crime, this bribe cases as the crime and outside the immunity, then the case is that this party who are in the power, they will misuse that, and if you will tell anything, there will be the cases and the immunity will be removed. So in that case, Supreme Court said that no, if it is for just for the freedom of speech or anything you are debating or you are doing for the deliberative democracy, where the debate is going on, if you are not, you have not taken the bribe or anything, the criminal activity you have done, you can speak anything, there is no such thing that immunity will be removed. Even this, you can vote and there will be the protection in the case of the vote as well, but the bribes should not be there, otherwise the case will be into the criminal jurisdiction and there will be the case. And here it is given that in the case of this Rajya Sabha election, this becomes very important, and we have recently saw a lot of crossover in the voting process of the Rajya Sabha. So please remember all this thing, that here it is the protection has been given, it has not been waived. Okay, so that is all about. Next important news is with respect to this platform that is named as the Chakshu, that whenever you are facing with any of the continuous fraud calls or the spam or anything that you feel that this is not genuine, like the electricity connection, KYC update or anything that is again and again you are getting the such calls, you can register your complaint at the Chakshu, and this is on the sancharsathi.gov.in. Okay, so please, this is for the prelims. Okay. Next important news that we are going to take is this Sandesh Khali. This has been in the news for the very long time. What is the main reason? The main reason, the first is that it has the Hindu-Muslim, the religious angle, and the second angle is that it is dominated by a party and their person, they are not behaving good with the women. There is the cases that there has been the sexual exploitation of the women by this party members. So that has been mentioned, this has been here. So here the writer is telling that one is not true, that this Hindu-Muslim angle that has been tried to projected here, the both person who were accused are the Hindu, Uttam Sardar and Shiv Prasad Hajra, both are non-Muslim. Okay, and the third person who was accused, whom the villagers beat as well, this is the Ajit Mathi. Okay, so again he is not the Muslims. So here the angle, the writer has tried to analyze what is the case into the overall West Bengal. Here it has mentioned that this state West Bengal was being ruled by the communists first, and under communist rule there was the party society developed. Party society means there is no ethnic society or anything else. The loyalty towards the party, any party. Okay, so previous TMC it was the CPIM, and now it is the TMC. So here under the CPIM, Communist Party of India, Marxists, they developed a middle class at their loyalist, educated middle class as the party leaders. But gradually, the educated middle class being shifted by enterprising individuals, they were either representing this villa farmers or those running the small trade and businesses. Okay, so here this community, they came into the dominance, and when TMC came into the power, these changed their side and they become loyal to the TMC. Okay, so here it has further what happened into the West Bengal. Mamata Banerjee, she brought some of the key bureaucrats and police officers very close to with her, means into the terms of the administration and loyalty. Again, here she also befriended the ethnic caste and religious community leaders and inducted them into the party, and they were these leaders, they give their loyalty, but instead of the loyalty, what they did, they tried to own the political power, they tried to own the money and use of the state machinery to increase their wealth. Here it has given. Okay. So here that illegal businesses involve land, forest, sand, coal, fisheries, all these things that increased gradually. Okay. So here she has mentioned that this is the franchisee politics that developed into the West Bengal. Okay. So here such a two flows of the might and money spread over the lease out zones and control command to its key players. So here the TMC wanted the power and these loyalists, they wanted the increase in the wealth. This is all about. Gradually this thing comes into the news because there has been some of the corruption cases that came to knowledge into the ED, and ED start investigating, and after that all these things come to the front. Here it shows that these leaders like the Hajra and Sardar, all that gradually goes to the chief minister. So this is the hierarchy in the system. Okay. And the second thing that is being accused of the here, it given that the workers routinely called the women from the village at the party office late into the night and sexually abused. Okay. This is the first case of the reversal of the land reform, because the land reform that was started by the communist government, left party government, that was now being reversed because now they have started capturing the land. This wealth group, these party society and these well-off farmers and these small businessmen, they have increased their property, land, right? Okay. So this is the reversal of those land reform that was started by the left government in 1917 and 80s. Okay. So here this is all about, means this is the trend that has been found into the West Bengal. So you should know what was the Sunday Scully, what was the issue. The historical perspective is this. This is the part of 24 Parganas, and this 24 Parganas were the place that was given to the British East India Company when they defeated the Nawab of the Bengal into the Battle of Plassey. Okay, so please remember that. This is the thing that you should remember. Next important news that we will see is that this quick transformation of the Russia-North Korea ties. Okay, so here we will see that what has been there has been a sudden shift. The first is that recently we saw that abandoning of the decade-long unification goal of the North Korea and South Korea. Now it has shifted towards the isolation process, policy of the North Korea. North Korea is talking about, I don't have to do anything with the unification. We are not interested in anymore, because it was a long aim and goal for the both countries, North Korea and South Korea. Second thing is that the Russia invasion to the Ukraine has brought the isolation from the Russia, and this both thing has brought a close relationship between the both countries, North Korea and Russia. Here it has given that the Putin gifted North Korea leader a luxury car that he was using for himself. So that has been the bonhomie, and here we have seen that with the this North Korea that has emerged as the key provider for the arms, ammunition and other defense equipments and accessories to the Russia in this Ukraine war. So here there has been the cooperation from the both sides, and Russia is providing the technical assistance to the North Korea so that they can bring the development into the satellite space technology, and there has been the further a trilateral conversion. Even the Chinese have supported for the naval exercise. So there could be this three countries axis is developing. Okay. Here you should know that what is the need of the Russia. Russia that now it has been outcast and yes, it a nuclear power, so it has the potential, it can support the Korea. And the North Korea need the food assistance and the energy and fuel need. Recently we saw that there was the chronic food shortage into the North Korea, so they are interest in converging. And recently we saw that there has been the Rajin Khashan railway link that connect the Russia to the South or North Korean Rajin port. So here this has been the a very quick development in this region. Besides that, we see that there has been the food form of arms agreement, despite both countries had denied such agreement. But yes, there has been the increased frequency of the freight trains and other thing, transportation as the North Korean border. Okay. What is the American factor? Because we see that there has been the axis of the Washington, Tokyo and South Korea. So this pushes the North Korea towards the Moscow, and yes, this is all about here that has been given, that how there is the convergence, and that's why there is the Russia-North Korea ties is growing day by day. Next important news that we will take is with respect to the recent meeting of the WTO apex decision making body, and here we saw that there has been the mixed agreement, because there has been the two polarized group, one was from the developed nation, one from the developing nation, and again there was the polarization on the name of the subsidies given to the agriculture as well as exemption from the custom duties for the e-commerce. Okay. So this has been there. Beside that, there has been a discussion on the isolationist tendency across the world, high increase in the tariff rate for the import. So all has been discussed, but the concrete decision or the goal has not been achieved. This is all about. There will be the further discussion. We will see into our next class discussion. Okay. Next news is with respect to the what's in the surname. There is the case that one woman, she got divorced, and when she approached to change her surname that she acquired after her marriage, that she got from her husband. So here the case is that there is a notification from the government, and that notification tell that this woman need to go and take permission, non-objectionable certificate from the husband to change the surname. This is the condition. This represents the inequality. This represents the violation of Article 14, 19 and 21. This is the case that has been discussed. That such type of the rules is still so that what type of mindset we possess. Okay. Even there is the case that United Nations that is talking about that the greatest human rights challenge in the world right now is achieving the gender equality and empowering the women and the girls. This has been the statement from the UN, and please write down, note down this, you can use into the essay. This is very strong statement. So that is the condition. This article is talking about that. This is the situation. Lip service is very easy to give, that yes, women are achieving equality with the men, but that is not the reality. Okay, so you should know this all about. Next important news is with respect to the status of Indian nuclear program. So let's see that what has been the status. We have shifted to the second stage. There is the three stages that we wanted. The first, we wanted to produce by the uranium, the natural uranium, also use the uranium 235, that is the isotope of the natural uranium, that is the U-238. Okay, so first stage is that we are using that. Second stage, we wanted to use that whatever the fuel that has been produced, that is used into the second stage, and in the second stage there will be the more production of the fuel that has been used. Are you getting that? That's why it is known as the fast breeder reactor, because there will be the more fuel will be generated and energy will also be generated, but the fuel needed will be reduced. Why the prototype? Because this is the first reactor that we want to experiment. We have experimented. Okay, so here it has given that what is the this prototype fast breeder reactor. So this is second stage of India's three-stage nuclear power program that we started into the 1950s when the Jahangir Bhabha was there, and his base is that yes, if India want to self-reliant into the energy production, we need to go for that, and this is very important. Okay, so because it is important, because it reduces the the emission of the gases just such as the greenhouse gases CO2 and other such gases. So this becomes very important. Besides that, in the third stage, it is going to use the thorium. Thorium is found in abundant into India. 1/3 of the reserve of the thorium that is in India, and you should know that it is found in the monazite sand that is in the coastal area of the eastern coast as well as some part of the western coast. Okay. Who is developing this fast breeder reactor? This is the Bharatiya Navakiya Vidyut Nigam Limited. So please remember this. This is developing, and this is all about. You should know that in the first stage there will be the generation of plutonium, and plutonium will be used at the input into the second stage. You should also know that in the first stage the coolant and moderator, that will be the heavy water. What is the heavy water? This is the same as the H2O, but it is the isotope of the H, hydrogen. So what is the formula of water? It is H2O, where H represents hydrogen. H2O. This is the water. But what is the heavy water? This is the D2O. Here it is, D is the isotope. This is known as the deuterium. Okay, so please remember this. So this is the way this works, that in the second stage it will be mixed with the plutonium and the natural uranium, and yes, in the second stage what will be the moderator and the coolant? It will be the liquid sodium, and liquid sodium, this liquid sodium is a highly reactive substance as a coolant in the two circuit. Okay, so there will be the it will capture the heat, and after that there will be the production of electricity. Okay, so this is all about. You should also know down we are going for the small modular reactor because it is easy to produce, and the capacity input income that is needed, capital that is needed to produce, start this production is low. That's why we are using this. Okay, so this is all about. You should remember that already we have covered all this area in our previous lecture. So the next thing is that next news is about this, a case to reform bill, law and guidelines, but make the right diagnosis first. Okay, so here it is talking about, this news is talking about that for the many, those who are in the prison, they are yet not convicted. There is the trial that is going on, and you should know that near about 70% of the Indian prisoners population is the under trial. They have not been convicted. They are just going through the process. So what you should know that there is the many of those prisoners who are languishing into the jails. They don't have that much money to pay the security, despite they have got the bail, but they don't have money, because whenever there is the bail, you have to pay some security. That's, you will not abscond. You will come to the court regularly when you will be asked. This is why you have to pay the security, and this is paid into the form of the security bond. Okay, and other thing. So this has been considered as the anti-poor, because this law assumes that the person already have sufficient money to pay for compensation and pay for the security money, and yes, there is the people who have relative into that area. But many times it is found that those prisoners, they don't have the family member even. They are the migrants. So here it has given the data that how much migrants and how much locals, and yes, how much people have no family member. So here it is given that 18.5% were the migrants. There was a study of the few of the jails just at the Edwada and Nagpur Central Jail. Edwada jail you should remember, because the Pune Pact between the Gandhiji and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was done here. Okay, it was not Gandhiji, it was the Congress, and it was signed by the Madan Mohan Malviya. So please remember. So okay, so here 93% did not own the asset, 62% did not have the contact with the family. This is the case here. So that's why a lot of people, we should make a system that even the people doesn't have the money, they should be released until and unless they are convicted. So this should be the ground here. Even the getting the bail is very difficult. Even after getting the bail, many of the family is languishing and they spend a lot of time to collect that security money. So this is all about. So here we have completed most of the area that is relevant for the UPSC, and here we will conclude our session. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.